Band of horses, girl.
Band of horses.
A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Of course.
Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to the Pocket Dimension Live. I'm Evan.
Well,
Finn.
are
Oh,
we
wait.
introducing now?
But
Hey,
when we get
everybody.
back,
I haven't done this in a minute. You guys
We
never picked me to
haven't.
go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pocket Dimension Live. Today we're discussing a few different things. Bud and Herb, GenCon, and maybe we'll play a game. Roll that intro. Bye.
All right,
Bye.
I will. Oh my
Flip back.
goodness.
All right, Fitz. Save
I'm
me from
smooth
myself.
transition.
maybe from myself.
Save him.
Evan,
Yeah.
you don't need saving. You're perfectly lovely. And as I told AK, it's called Yes and. Yes and.
That's true.
Yeah.
But, well, hello
true.
everybody. Welcome to the Pocket Dimension Live, aka the Bud and Herb Takeover Show.
Oh my god, we're all matching and it's adorable.
I'm Fitz.
I'm Matt.
I'm AK, not drinking a Gatorade today.
And I'm Evan. What's up, you guys?
Guys.
Yeah, you're pouring a cup of a Kool-Aid instead
Yeah.
of a Gatorade.
Like a good little cult leader that I am.
I know. Yeah. Have you burned out all the sassiness and the all? No.
What?
Still plenty of sass left over. Well, I mean, I thought you were
Me?
referencing that in past episodes you were coming here with a
Yeah.
ton of sass and
Yeah.
now you're feeling more relaxed.
I am feeling fairly relaxed today. That is true. But I mean,
Good.
If you take the sass from AK, what's left?
A lot.
just glitter,
Just
just a
beauty.
pile of
Just-
glitter on the floor.
Just a beautiful,
Intelligent.
big-hearted, smart, funny,
Yeah.
beautiful
Wow.
woman.
Quite
What
a
a
lot.
great what did I do to deserve this?
Quite
This
a
is
lot.
not about me. This is about these two.
That's right.
Down here, it's a Bud and Herb takeover today.
Get it.
Yeah.
Take it. Take it. What the heck is Bud and Herb?
What the heck is Bud
besides
and Herb?
marijuana?
Besides that,
Yeah.
which I'm saying, man, one of these we just our first non-in-world sponsorship
hmm
should be some sort of like mom and
Looney-
pop dispensary or something.
Yeah. Lumi microdose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Come on.
We
We
didn't microdose today, we swear.
we swear.
No, we did not. And
Yet.
the deepest irony is that I don't know that these two would ever come near the marijuanas.
What? What are you talking
mean,
about?
I mean, not
Not in the state of Georgia, of course, but
not in the state
Never.
of Georgia.
Not in
right.
the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not your thing, is what I'm saying.
Okay, sure.
Well, maybe it is.
But we'll admit we'll pivot here. Not in the state of Georgia. We will pivot to say that actually, Lore Drop, Bud and Herb, that was an accident. No one will ever believe us from now
nobody
until
will.
eternity.
But
But truly, it was an accident.
I
It's
will
just
be.
like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Must we
Just-
evoke that name here? I just did psychic
on
damage
this,
for that.
on this, the
I
day
know.
of Bud and Herb.
I know. Why?
Which is the first thing that came to my mind. Okay.
Why?
Woo! Sorry.
Okay, but yes, I will absolutely vouch that we had to point out to Evan and Fitz, sweet little summer children that they are, that there were some implications of naming their podcast The Adventures of Bud and Herb. So I want to rewind. I want to get
Yeah.
everybody watching
Sure.
this on the exact same page. It's a really
Okay.
cool page.
Yeah.
The year is 2022. The four of us
It
have
is.
gathered in a castle to play D&D all weekend long, and the idea was born. So tell us like where Bud and Herb came from, because they were separate and then became best
Together.
friends, as so many of us do.
Yeah.
It
The
did.
peanut butter and jelly of, or peanut butter and chocolate of D&D.
Working on
we're
some
gonna-
Bud and Herb right now.
I know, I love
Tell
that.
her.
Yeah.
we like you. Good work.
Yeah,
There are
but
people.
before we
What's-
jump into that, AK, and move away from the other Button Herb, I do want to say this is a good good show for stoners. It's a good show for stoners.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is.
So we invite all stoners to come and get super baked and listen to the show.
Oh yeah, have a grand old time. Let's also say this, because for anybody who doesn't know what the Adventures of Bud and Herb, why don't we tell them what it is, and then we can go into the lore of it.
Why don't
I
we?
love it.
By
There
the
we go,
way,
love it.
I was on some Bud and Herb for every recording session I was part of. So
Were you? Oh,
Were you?
that's for y'all to decide.
oh,
I know
wow.
you. You were not.
I'm
Never know.
impressed. I'm impressed.
Never know.
You never know. I'm a feisty one.
Well, Evan, I'll let you pitch it. You're
Yes.
always so good
Go,
at,
go.
at the pitch, so I'm gonna let you pitch the show.
With I'm going to pitch the show. Okay, you guys,
Mm-hmm.
buckle
Got my
up.
catcher's
Here's the
mitt.
pitch.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Clack. So the Adventures of Bud and Herb, it's a podcast. It's a story. It's a narrative, scripted, voice acted story for the first half of the season. And then halfway through, it transforms into a game of Dungeons and Dragons. And so basically, our whole mission with this is to trick you into falling in love with our characters,
Yep.
Bud and Herb, and all the other eccentric denizens of the little town they live in, Mistress Glen. And then we leave their fates up literally to the roll of the dice.
Yep.
So the story follows Bud and Herb. They are retired adventurers. They used to go all over and do the stuff that D&D adventurers do. And then they just kind of got tired. They're not old. I mean, maybe Bud's, he's definitely older than Herb. He's a gnome. But they're mostly just got, people don't want to adventure all the time, right? And they happened upon this really beautiful little town called Mistress Glen in the heart of the Verdant Valley. And they said, we're going to retire here.
Mhm.
But it wasn't long before they started hearing stories of this cryptid. And if you don't know what a cryptid is just a beast, a monster of some kind that has not been identified. Real talk. Gorillas used to be cryptids, right? So like Bigfoot
And
is a
platypus.
cryptid, and
Platypi,
platypus.
yes.
These used to be cryptids. Now they're just animals.
Yeah.
So anyway, a cryptid, an unidentified monster, has been haunting the outskirts of their little town. And AK, are you okay?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, you're just excited.
I was reacting to it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A monster
Yeah.
was haunting. I was hanging on
Gather
your every
round.
word. You were
Oh,
doing
good.
a good job of the story. You should make a podcast because you're a good storyteller, sir. I was invested.
Yeah.
So
How's that for Yes And, by the way?
I love
Good.
that. Thank you. So Bud and Herb do the thing that they should obviously do, which is start a podcast, or in their world it's called a Fungcast, which is a podcast powered by a magical mycelial network. And
So we have Bud and Herb and shrooms. Is what we're telling
yeah,
you.
I know that actually
Get
occurred to
with
me
it.
just
Get
yesterday.
with it.
Oh no.
That magic mushrooms. I was typing that out in one of our promo press releases. I was like, "Oh wow, Bud, Herb, magic mushrooms." Dear
It's
God.
basically H&R Puffin stuff.
It
is.
It is. Okay. Nobody here knows what HR Puffin stuff is, but go look it up, and that's actually creepily close to what Bud and Herb is.
Too late to apologize at this point. It's the train has left the station. and
Oh
we're
yeah.
riding
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
it is.
Look,
On the tracks, out the station.
we invite all
Toot,
drug
toot.
users to listen to the show.
And enjoy.
Anyways, so Bud and Herb, they start this investigative Funcast to try and get to the bottom of the mystery of this beast. That was a little bit of a longer pitch, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit more,
Yeah.
a little bit extra. So that's the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And please let us know if you guys in the chat have any questions. Shoot them
Oh,
our
yeah.
way.
Totally.
Like, other than what is this? Because we're gonna do our best to answer that today.
Aw, pocket
Yay.
chin
Aw.
from Amy in honor of Bud and Herb. And
thank you.
Open World Addict just watched the latest episode of ADHD 20, so welcome.
I
We're just
know.
going to talk
It
about
was a
all of
good
our
one.
podcasts here today.
All the podcasts. Look, that's the goal here with the Pocket Dimension, is that we want to create all the things.
All of
And
them.
for
Yes.
you guys, that's ADHD 20. For Evan and I, we have been like in the dark behind the scenes plugging away
Literally.
at Bud and Herb
Yeah.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
I want to say that to point out that you just slipped and said in the art, and it is an art form what you two
It
have
is.
put together. It is gorgeous.
AK
Aw.
and me
Thanks.
talking is just like, it's just like people
Running our
talking.
mouths.
But this is another thing, and I am so, not only am I biased, but I'm so proud.
Yes.
Even if I had nothing to
Yes.
do with this, that
Yes.
Bud and Herb is going to be part of the Pocket Dimension family, because it really is a totally different dimension. Oh my god.
Oh
It's a
my
totally different
God.
thing.
DT.
And yet it's
DT,
got all
we
this
see
love
you.
and art. Yeah, it's got all this love and art in it. Yeah, it's so freaking good.
They have 420 in the UK too. Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Shocking.
Yes.
Yes. Brother, thank you for those words.
Yeah.
I Fitz and I wanted to do something really different from everything else that the Pocket Dimension does. We do this show. There's ADHD 20, which if I crack open the love fest on ADHD 20, I'll never stop. So let's come back to that. Let's just put a pin in that and just know that our love for that knows no bounds.
Pure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we wanted to say, okay, here's something entirely different that we're gonna try.
Yeah.
So thanks
And
for
if
seeing us.
we're completely
yeah.
honest, the origins of Bud and Herb 2 years ago at Castle Birthday were probably based, at least in a small part, due to jealousy. Because you guys had ADHD 20 out, and we wanted something.
Not a small part. Yeah,
Well,
let's cards on the
and-
table.
And let me
You
also
got
say,
something cool.
you guys are
I know,
cool.
we
I
want to
wanna
be cool too.
But let me also say this.
Total
though.
Big Brother system.
Yeah.
Syndrome.
Wait,
I
you
know,
two are
it
brothers? What?
It's been rumored.
The secret is out.
Amazing.
The other cool thing about it, and I'm not saying that this is jealousy as well, but at that same Castle Birthday, we kind of started to unwrap this thing that I had been feverishly working on, this world that the Pocket Dimension now wants very much to be known for, this world's idea that we are building. And I had taken a chunk of it, and everybody suggests you take a small part and then you circle out and out and out if you're building a world, and that's what I had done.
Yep.
Evan and Fitz went away for 2 years and built another part of the continent, completely different. But the fact that we can fold it into this world, and it has become a 4-person world building journey, is also the freaking coolest thing.
Can I
Yes.
drop a little spoiler on so we play monthly games with our patrons, and they're all set in this world because we want everything to we want you to get to watch it and then experience it yourself. So we're playing some Daggerheart tomorrow, and there may be a romp in the Cinderwood Forest for a
Be
little
careful.
part of it.
Be
Yeah,
very
better be careful out there.
If you smell something bad,
If you smell
run.
something bad, run.
Get out of there. Yeah, Daggerheart folks, tomorrow, if you smell something, get out.
Hold on, let me
Yeah.
make a note real
If you
quick.
smelt it, you probably did not dealt it.
You
so
probably
That's
didn't
true.
deal
You
it.
did not
it.
dealt it, and
Yeah.
you need to get
Yeah,
out.
Get ready, Drew. Drew's playing her first ever Daggerheart tomorrow, and you'll be visiting the Cinderwood.
Nice.
And I'm so excited because she's my first Daggerheart character was a fun girl druid, and she's playing a fun girl druid. And by the end, she's gonna know way more than I did. But her character is just adorable. But
Oh,
and I was going to bring that up too, that a lot of the patron one-shots that we've had over the past year or so have taken place in and around the same world. So there are chunks. Some folks have had some Bud and Herb lore drops and they didn't even know it.
They didn't
they
even
didn't
know
even
it.
know it.
Well,
That's right.
a lot of the people that are in this chat right now have created canon just by playing
Yeah.
with us.
I know you've added to it, which is
Yep.
so
Have
cool.
built it with us. So
We have
let
some
me
pieces of the
backtrack.
Pantheon and locations and things like that have been built by the patrons, and that's.
I mean,
it's so
tabletop.
exciting.
It is my dream. It is my dream that we come out with the campaign setting of Zygia.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
without
yeah.
question, with Evan's
Mhm.
art, design, and everybody's world building and ADHD and neurodivergent friendly text a la studying under Kelsey Dion or someone. Like, that's our freaking dream.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
happening. It's not a dream. It's happening.
DT just named it. Did you see that?
Pocket
Mm-mm.
press.
Did he?
Pocket
Ooh,
press.
come on.
Come on now.
That's so good. It
Lore.
has to be taken already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, get over to Namecheap right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matt's
yeah,
okay.
favorite
right
thing
now,
to
Matt.
do is to just
Go
buy
in your zone.
domains. Just go do it. We
Go
got
do
this
it.
covered. He's doing
So,
it.
AK,
I'm actually doing
to
it.
So,
go back to your
Phoebe.
first question.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I'll give a little context.
Yes,
So
please.
for anyone out there who has not heard about the mythical castle birthday and know what we're talking about,
Mhm.
a couple of years ago for Matt's and AK's birthday, we did rent a castle, not
On
not
Airbnb.
by, yeah, it was very castle adjacent, not by Digital Twisted's standards, but by American standards, it was not a castle. But it was really cool. And it was, the main thing was that it was the first time the four of us had played games together in a room ever, except for Matt. Matt and I had, but we had not, the four of us had never played games at a table together. We'd only been locked in a pandemic in our own little rooms.
I've never played ever live
with anyone
before.
at a table.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
So it was truly just an epic weekend where none of us had laughed that hard and we'd had so much fun. Fitz is right. ADHD 20 had just taken off, and we were definitely super gels of all the fun that Matt and AK were having. And I guess somewhere towards the close of Castle Birthday, like towards the end of it, I just kind of worked up the courage to say, "Hey, Fitz," and we should probably back this up a little bit before this and say, like, where did Herb actually originate from, and
exactly.
where did Bud originate from? Because before this, we had not actually played them that often in games. They were just kind of some weird throwaway one-off characters that we made up
Or together.
But I had this idea of like, what if we had our D&D characters and they had a talk show, and that was the original idea. Was what if it was just a talk show and we interviewed people? And it was not a good idea. It was a terrible idea. And we tried it. And we had really fun interviewing people, but it wasn't like, it was half baked.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say it was a good idea, but it was a good idea for bonus content.
Okay.
For because the reason, so we actually have 3 episodes that we recorded in this talk show format that exist.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be released someday, but we realized after having done those that Bud and Herb were in the passenger seat of those stories and not in the driver's seat. And we were leaning into this like multi-dimensional thing so that we could talk to characters that had played in campaigns, in Faerun, in Exandria, and that way we could talk to everybody. But the problem with that was
characters. Interview not the person, but their another
character.
D&D character. It was weird.
It was weird, but it was fun. But we realized that we weren't able to world build, and we weren't really able to be the main characters in our own show. So that's when we pivoted to doing the show as it is now. Maybe someday we'll still do some sort of talk show thing just for funsies.
Space Ghost, Coast to
Ghost.
Coast.
But that was the original pitch, and I think from the beginning it was Bud and Herb. Because even if we hadn't necessarily played them in the same game together, we know all the characters each other have played, and regardless of if we were in that game, just because we talk about D&D all the time, and I think it was very clear from the beginning which ones were the chuckle fucks who could have a main character moment.
Yeah, they just rose to the top. They were the cream that rose to. I mean. Bud, because I don't even know whether I had really seen that much of Bud before Castle Birthday, but when Bud appeared in whichever game we were playing, because we played like 16
the one that Fitz
hours
was
a day.
running.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
it was an Exandria game about the people who were having some kind of froze.
Yeah, it was the frozen
sick. Yeah,
frozen sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember when I had laughed that hard. I mean, these are characters that every GM wants in their as long as the GM has a sense of humor. and doesn't mind profanity. These are the characters that every GM wants in their player, party, because the two of you become these other creatures, other humanoids that, and you say and do things that are just they're wild. It's just chaos. It's pure, delicious chaos, and it's so fun.
They're very suited for one shots. They were
and they were built for one shots. Is the thing. Like you build a one shot character a lot differently than you build a whole game long term campaign. They are
not a lot of subtlety here.
No subtlety.
You built Herb, because I get Herb's origin and Mushi mishmashes.
When did Herb come around?
When did Herb with the one shot with Tay?
It was so we used to be in a Thursday night game with Tay. That was in Exandria. That was a high level game. I think we capped out at 17, 16, something like 17, that. But there was one week where he was going to be gone, and somebody else was going to DM a one shot for that
pirate.
It was a pirate one shot, and it was going to be level 12 because that group loves a high level game, and I had helped you create your character for a few hours that afternoon, and I just didn't know what I wanted to play. I was being very wishy-washy. I was like, I don't know. And then suddenly I built Herb in about 5 minutes thinking, I'm going to choose the stupidest options. I'm going to purposely pick the barbarian class that everybody shits on and just see how it goes. So I picked a turtle because I thought it was weird. I picked the Path of the Storm Herald because everyone said it was bad. I picked the Chef Feet because everybody said it was bad. I purposely picked bad options. And then I almost blew her up in the first 5 minutes of the game. So Herb almost didn't even make it 5 minutes in gameplay.
My grumpy little
at
paladin.
level 12.
Had to jump in and take an attack for you or something. And you came in with the meat tenderizer and the ladles.
The soup ladle, meat tenderizer, and roasting skewers. So javelin, maul, and mace, I think, that I had reskinned. And I don't know, there was something about her though that we played that one game and then I was like, well, I'm never gonna play her again, but she was fun as hell. And
I'm never gonna play her again, and here she is.
I know, now she's on a friggin' t-shirt.
Shall we talk about these gorgeous illustrations?
Oh my God,
how they have come to life, and
Evan, man, you were the one. I'll let you talk about it because you were the one that was like, "Hey,
Bridget.
So, Matt and I used to be in a band. We don't like to talk about it.
all of this lore just coming out that I had no idea about.
I know.
This is a lore cast here.
But the one good thing about that was we had a fan by the name of Bridget Connell, and a few years ago, maybe I guess pre-pandemic now. Jeez. I went up to Charlotte to Heroes Con. At the time, I was really into comics. I mean, I'm still into comics, but even more so. And I was considering trying to really learn how to draw comics and see if that was maybe a path to pursue. Just FYI, drawing comics is freaking hard, man. It's like jazz music. You have to be you have to love it to be able to do it, or classical music. You have to love it.
Or improv,
I wouldn't compare classical to jazz. You gotta love jazz, and you gotta be good at it.
You gotta be good. There's no room for error. And I realized I didn't love it enough, right? Because it's so hard. But I'd drawn a few pages, and I brought them up to Heroes Con, and I kind of went table to table just to get some feedback. And I reached out to Bridget, and I don't even remember how. I knew I was going to meet up with her, but I don't remember what the connection, how that happened. But I went by her booth. She was there with her husband. They're both the sweetest people ever. And she was so kind to me and reviewed my work and gave me really great feedback. And at the time, she had already produced her own creator-owned book, which is extremely cool. The name is escaping me, but you can go to bridgetconnell.com and find it. And she was just starting, I think, to really get into the world of Dark Horse Comics, and specifically doing work for kind of in the Mike Mignola verse. Mignola? I don't really know how you pronounce his name. The guy who created Hellboy.
Yeah.
And fast forward to now, she's now a very successful comic artist, draws a title called Lady Baltimore, and she's just freaking
Incredible.
incredible.
Good.
So anyways, I reached out to her. I knew that I considered for one hot second, like, should I try to design the characters for this? I mean, I don't really have time to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I didn't really want to do it. And she was the first person who popped in my mind. It's like, what if Bridget is taking commissions? No, I mean, it was actually very close to Heroes Con this year. I thought, well, it's a long shot, but I'll just try it. And I reached out to her, and she just happened to have a gap in her schedule, and it fit in nicely, and the rest was history. And man, we just had one meeting with her, told him who the characters were, and I think we even sent her. She must be a mind reader, because we sent her the first unedited version of episode 1, and she couldn't get it to play.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, she couldn't get it to. No, she still hasn't heard it.
Oh my god! I thought she heard the first episode.
Oh
no!
Oh my god!
And here's the amazing thing: she
Damn.
was drawing things into the character designs and into the poster that we specifically talk about in the show that she didn't even know was a part of it.
What?
I know, right? It's wild. So anyway, hashtag meant to be, and we just got so lucky. I'm please go to Patreon if you're not already a member and become a member, because all we want to do is get some more money to get more character art, to get Matt's character and Allison's character and our friend Seth's character and all of the characters, and get her to do that. Yeah. Amongst many other things. So that's the story of Bridget.
And if nothing else, go to the Patreon and just like follow us there so that you can see we've posted some of her sketches. We posted the poster art and the character designs. I mean, it is truly incredible. Like, when I think about it sometimes, about how just good it is, I kind of want to cry.
Yeah. Oh, she made us look so professional.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I didn't try to do this myself. It wouldn't have been.
But the universe just aligned perfectly. Like, it's weird to me that she just happened to have.
I know.
That window.
You guys.
I
know. But then, here's the thing. So this has been a long 2-year process. There were not stops. There were.
We reimagined it a couple of times.
You were trying to find yourself.
Workshopping. Yeah.
But the moment that I really was like, oh man, this is really unique. Not that it wasn't already, because I've seen Bud and Herb, but the concept of a podcast that starts off with all the scripting, all the work, all the voice acting, all the sound design, from A to B, 5 full episodes of that, of very structured storytelling and world building. And you get that, and you learn about each one of these characters. And then the show just goes actual play. And if this exists in the world, please let me know, because it just is one of the coolest ideas I've ever heard, and I would like to hear more of it. But it is
100% fits.
It is fits.
It's so fun.
It's so amazing. And the best news is that we have filmed and recorded the actual play at this point.
We know something y'all don't
I know.
And it went really great.
It was fun. We had Tay DM'd us.
It was one of the best weekends I've had in a long ass time.
Yeah.
But y'all were super nervous, and understandably, because these are your characters. You have to have rules and ideas of season 2 or whatever. And this in this one actual play could trash all of that. What if Bud and Herb die? What if they die? Like, what happened? And I know that some things happened that you were not counting on. You did not write. And that's the beauty of this concept, is that diving off, and man, it's just so great.
That's why we discussed choosing the right DM was
just about to say
essential.
that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think from the beginning we had said it's Tay or it's nobody. It felt right. He is an insanely good storyteller, and I don't know, it did feel a little bit like we were trusting him with like our baby brainchild, but I also was confident that he was going to take the baton and run it over the finish line with a flourish and a bang, and he did.
Yeah. He really did.
Truly.
Yeah.
And there were discussions of like, does anybody have plot armor? And we jokingly said that certain people had it just for fun, but realistically, nobody had plot armor.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know my stance on characters dying.
Yeah.
Right. So that part didn't worry me, actually. I was very nervous, but it wasn't because of plot stuff. And Fitz and I definitely had we do have seasons 2 and 3 already kind of at least loosely mapped out to some degree.
Unlike the Star Wars sequel trilogy, we know episodes 2 and 3.
Shade. Feel the burn. Shade.
Darth Fitz is back.
Well, I feel bitter about some things. That one. Sorry, continue.
We did have that stuff planned out, but like people dying, and you're gonna have to listen to the show and find out. I mean, is there gonna be a TPK?
That's true.
You'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't worried about those things. What I was worried about was more: is this concept gonna work? Is this actually going to work?
Yeah.
And because it was in our mind, like the day I remember Fitz called me up, I was at our mom's house, and I don't know, I was just visiting, and we'd just been working on stuff, and maybe it was a Friday, probably we were just during our regular Friday. Fitz and our creative planning time is always on Friday afternoons, and Fitz just says, "Okay, I've got an idea. It's pretty weird, but just bear with me." And it broke my brain open. Mm-hmm. And from that moment on, I was just all in. But then when we got to the day, I was like, oh, wow. Is this actually going to work? I don't know. Because by this time, we had put so much effort into these first episodes. Yeah. And, 2 years. Here's the thing.
2 years.
Yeah. I mean, yes and no.
For the most part, yeah.
Including the workshopping. And like from the original ideation, once we actually started working on writing the episodes. Yeah. Because that was another thing. That was another piece of it. We didn't actually intend to write them. We were going to kind of approach it more like D&D and improv stuff. Mm-hmm. And we did. The first episode is almost entirely improv with Matt. Yep. And but the thing is, Matt studied improv.
And then you got to my episode and all came crashing down, and we were like, let's script.
Well, we just realized, but we realized that, we had left you out to sea.
Oh, man.
A little bit,
Boy,
it has no reflection on you. It's that, Matt having the experience that Matt has, we could give him bullet points and then he could go for it. But, like, it wasn't speaking to supporting you that we needed to have a little more structure. So we built in structure. Of course, the invitation was always improv is on the table, and there's plenty of it throughout the season. Yep. But I think the 2 scenes that have fully made it in this season that are just true improv are the scene in the second half of the first episode with Matt, and then there's a scene in the 4th episode with Seth that is fully improv. So folks can look forward to that, I guess. But the rest of it, for the most part, was structured.
Yeah. So I don't know when we started writing the shows. For me, that was like the man, we re-envisioned the show so many times, and it really just because we had no idea what we were doing. No. And I would definitely encourage anyone who like is doing anything like this, don't be afraid to smash it all to pieces and start over.
Yep.
Like, no, you don't want to do that so much that you just never end up doing it at all. You definitely want to avoid never doing it at all, and that's a very slippery slope. But I remember, I think I almost broke Fitz's brain when I was like, you know what, Fitz? This show, we're doing a show about Bud and Herb that isn't about Bud and Herb. We've got to rethink this. And I could hear the silence on the other end. Your brain was just.
Yep. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
It took a minute. It took a minute, but then once we got going, I was like, oh, this is it. I think particularly after we had gone back to the drawing board, come up with sort of the basis of the story of what will actually be season 2 of Bud and Herb, because originally we were going to do season 2 as season 1, and then we realized, no, we actually need to go back a little bit further in time. And we had a meeting with Tay to just run the story by him, because, like we said, he's a fabulous storyteller and a great game master and a player. And so we just said, hey, this is what we have. Poke holes in it. And he did, and it came out of that process 1,000 times better. And from there, we just sort of ran and didn't look back. After that meeting, that's when fully the confidence kicked in for me that it was going to work.
Yeah. And now the fun part is like, now I do feel confident about doing this. Like, I know more about, I've never written a story. I've never worked like this with somebody on a story collaboratively, and then also with a group collaborative. I haven't done any of this stuff before. Yeah. But now I feel like going into season 2, I feel like I'll go in with some more confidence.
May I bring a tenet of ADHD 20 into the Adventures of Bud and Herb?
Absolutely.
Which
Look
is
at that crossover content, baby.
I'd like to sprinkle a little moment of what we like to call Alison's woo-woo corner.
Let's get woo-woo, baby.
Let's get woo-woo for a second. My favorite thing about both participating, having watched all of this, being a part of it, and now talking back with it is just the importance of aligned actions, I'll call them. Like when the butts are in the right seats, everything just works. And there was so much of what you guys were doing, which was just this kind of beautiful trust that like, I'm just going to put this out and the right people are going to answer the call. So like, and we all got to see that in action with Bridget and the art, with Tay taking the reins and DMing the actual play.
Seth the GM, Sarah Mobley.
Exactly.
Like Matt, our pal Matt Williams.
Exactly. Like once you guys started, and I mean, the way that I got the part that I got is because Fitz and I were at dinner one night and I started acting like an absolute idiot. And she was like, that's it. That's one of the characters right there. That's exactly the vibe, you know? But it's like when you put that energy out and just say, I'm just going to trust. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm not trying to control the how, but I'm just going to let the universe answer. And then it just like boom, you need a director, Matt and Sarah. Boom, we needed these characters, Seth and the other Matt and Colby, and we need ad copy, and here's this really good idea, and boom, we need art, here's Bridget, and who's gonna DM this? Obviously Tay. Like it all just, man, the flow does the work. Getting in that flow state, and it was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
The only time I was ever worried was when there was a possibility, because Tay just had a baby in January. Cutest little baby in the whole world.
Yeah,
so
little nugget.
Little nugget. And the only worry I ever had was, no, is like
he gone.
If he's gone, like we're gonna script the rest of the season. Yeah. I don't know. Like we need him. Without him, that was the only time I was worried.
But contrary to popular belief, you can have big major life events like getting married, having children, getting higher education, and still do the things you love. I don't know if people are aware of this or not, but it is entirely possible.
You could do it.
Yeah. But just like life gets in the way, and like we were asking him to do a thing, and like sometimes you just don't have time. Yeah. And that's totally understandable. Yep. We would have been devastated if that was the case, though.
Well, agreed, and thank you for letting me have my woo-woo corner.
Thank you
for your woo-woo corner. Since you brought up Sarah Mobley, I will point out one other thing that just kind of step along the way where I would have these epiphany moments of like, we need a director. What are we doing? We have no idea what we're doing moments.
Yeah.
And so we reached out to Matt, and Matt stepped in and helped us really start directing episodes, and it was, helping us strengthen the story and make sense of things that didn't really quite connect, and all of these amazing things.
Yeah.
And we were super duper appreciative of that, but we also didn't want to overburden Matt with like giving up all his Saturdays. So Matt was like, "You should talk."
So we
to
burdened
Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah. So we burdened Sarah. So we call up Sarah, and that was a totally different style of directing than Matt, and all of a sudden she was bringing performance things out of Fitz and I that we never hadn't considered, didn't think about, didn't know we were capable of. And we are so grateful. We cannot understate the importance of Sarah's hands on this process, because it not only changed the episodes that she literally had her hands on, but also changed how Fitz and I thought about episodes going forward, even if Sarah couldn't be in the room with us.
Yep.
So that was a big deal.
The difference between like the pre-Sarah episodes that were and not any shade to Evan and Fitz here, but it's hard to be in character and then also be zoomed out enough to hear and be like, this part isn't working. Let's try it this way.
Yep.
And so to have that just added voice in the room to push on things and say harder, more, no, pull that part back, this isn't making sense, really was...
Yeah, act like you're excited to be here.
Just the energy levels. Could you have some?
Yeah, I know. You guys, do you remember that there's a child? There's
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Anyway, we're extremely grateful to Sarah and everybody who put their hands into this, because it's definitely not just Fitz and me.
No, we couldn't have done it without all y'all. For real.
And we wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else.
So yeah, thanks for letting us yap about this.
Yeah, get excited.
So stoked.
I feel like it's become my whole personality, so I'm self-conscious about talking about it now.
Because that's how I feel about ADHD 20, and anything pocket dimension related, and I'm done apologizing for it. So welcome. Get on this level. It's so fun.
Get on it.
I'm ready. I am scared, but I am so ready for people to listen to this thing, and it's coming out on Monday. Y'all, it's coming out on Monday.
So this is the time to say.
This is the time.
Okay, if you haven't already, please go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever. We're available anywhere now, but particularly the big ones. When you follow a show before the first episode drops, the algorithm goes, "Ooh, someone's paying attention to this," and the more followers you have, by the time the first episode drops, you have the opportunity to chart immediately. And we had great mentorship from our friend Greg Hess, who is one of the creators of the show Mega the Podcast, which if you're not listening to, you should be. And he, of course, cut his teeth. They didn't know what they were doing, so he would download all kinds of amazing things for us to go and try to do, which we have done, as the best we can. So please go and follow the show if you don't mind. And please spread it to anybody. Spread it like a plague. Share it with anybody, any nerd in your life.
Just take their phones, subscribe for them. Just start snatching phones. That's all we're asking, okay?
Exactly. Just share it with anyone who will sit still and say, please go check this out. And not just for follows. Like if there's someone who you think would just enjoy it, we would just mean so much to us.
Trying to find
that's
the
all.
link.
There's the plug. Yeah, we're gonna drop a link in there for you.
It's a good plug. It's a good plug.
And it will be available on YouTube as well. So
it will.
If you're not following this channel, you should do that now. It's fun.
Yes.
Oh yes, please. Then you'll.
Yeah,
we're gonna have such a diverse, amazing channel soon.
I love it. I'm so excited about it. We cannot wait to having been behind the scenes and watching this, like the thrill we're gonna feel on Monday for the two of you especially, but then like the thrill I currently feel knowing everybody's about to get to experience this for the first time. Like I'm excited for all of you. So buckle up, buttercups.
Buckle up.
My phone
It's
doesn't do the
much-
thing anymore, but just
Aw.
imagine the hearts coming out.
Here, I'll do
AK.
some for you.
Thank you.
You know, the only other podcast that I listen to is Worlds Beyond Number, and like because I do not process audibly, and every episode gets better and better, and I can go ahead and compare the Adventures of Bud and Herb to that. Where just like every episode is like
It does. That's true.
exciting storytelling build.
Yeah.
Well, and huge props to Evan for basically learning how to sound design and, in my opinion,
Yeah.
doing a beautiful
Crushing
job.
it. Yeah.
I just listened
Thanks.
to part of episode 4 today because we were discussing it with Seth, and I was just like, damn.
I am in the Cinderwood Forest.
It's fun. I didn't realize how much fun it was going to be. I was kind of looking forward to the process, but the magic that happens when you're doing work like that is you go from listening to people just yapping, just people talking, to all of a sudden there's dimension to it, and it's there's something it's very immediately satisfying about it,
Yeah.
and you can endlessly tweak it, brother. So I'm sure you love that aspect of it too. I know I can anyway. I could just go like, oh, this isn't quite right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Fitz. I love it. I love doing that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Adventures of Bud and Herb dropping Monday,
Yeah.
wherever you stream podcasts, and right here on the Pocket Dimensions YouTube.
And if you are not one of our patrons, but you like episode 1, you should join our Patreon tier at the Feywild tier or above, because you'll get episode 2 early. We're going to be dropping all of the subsequent episodes on Fridays for patrons.
Yeah.
So everybody gets it on Mondays, but patrons get it a little bit early if you want something
That's
for
right.
your Friday night sush.
All right.
You know, you want a little ear candy when you're eating your Friday night sush.
Yeah, man.
I have another really exciting thing about next week too, because Monday happens,
Yeah.
and then
Every
2
Monday.
days later, we
each
get to
other.
be together
We
again.
get to be together!
Yay!
We get to be together at the place that we came up with what y'all are watching right now. Like,
That's
it
right.
was
Yeah.
at GenCon 2023 that Evan came up with the name. We were all like all week long, like, what are we going to name our channel? What are we going to name our channel? What are we going to name our channel? And it was
Four
motherfuckers. Didn't
Yeah.
was
Didn't quite stick.
sad. There was one that I really wanted. Something about graves, or I crit on your
I
grave.
crit on your grave.
Oh yeah. And then
I really
Lindsay
wanted that
saved
one.
us from that.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, my wife said, "Wait a minute, horror movie that is really you
Racist?
don't want to be.
Yeah.
You don't want to be.
You don't
attached
want
to
that. You don't want to get in on that.
So yeah,
Really
we
good,
had.
though.
I wonder. I bet I have that notebook where I have we had like a list, like a multi-page list
Yeah.
going,
Uh-huh.
and finally the Pocket Dimension came to us, and so I considered that the beginning. It was September 1st, 2023 that we officially launched the channel. So it's wild that we have been doing this for a year together. Longer
even.
for other things,
Not
but yeah,
even.
I know it's so, and all of you that have come as a result is just the coolest. And yes, Kai says, Gen Con, we are going to get to finally meet our good friend Kai Solis. We're going to meet GM Rice Combo. We're going to see our great friend Will Foy. If you were watching this and you were going to be at Gen Con, we bought these t-shirts and other ones. So we will be walking around, you know, hop into our Discord if we need to try and figure out a time that we can have like an official
Find
like
you.
Pocket Con at Gen Con.
Oh, man.
We would
Let's leave.
gladly
Gotta have a pocket con.
we
Oh,
will
yeah.
gladly do that.
We are very approachable. I know that we look.
I'm very
extremely
intimidating.
Off-put. Yeah,
That's what I've been told.
intimidating.
I'm
off-putting,
very intimidating.
But
I was intimidated by you, okay? I won't
Come
lie.
on! Don't get it! There is not a single thing that is intimidating about me. Not one. I mean, I'm loud, and that can be grating, but not intimidating. Do we want to talk about like our schedule real quick and what we're most excited about?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so here's the quick rundown of what we are planning on playing, and we've left room for
For
more.
more. Seth, we're jelly. We're not jelly. We're
I
sad
know,
that
we
you're. I
want-
I
see that you're
know.
jelly, but I'm sad you're not going to come. You got to come with us
Change your
next year.
mind.
Just hop into Evan's suitcase.
Yeah.
Nobody will notice.
Just do
It'll
it.
be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be wonderful. We'll all love it.
Get there.
Okay, so we are kicking things off with Vampire the Masquerade. Show of
Perfect.
hands for who here has played that. I have not.
No.
Is anyone?
No,
I'm excited.
Okay.
Never.
No.
Okay,
no.
all of our
I
first
like-
times.
Wait.
It's
Before we move on, who was a vampire loving goth kid in high
Evans
school?
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anne Rice.
Oh, I was obsessed with Anne Rice books.
Every Anne Rice, yeah.
And beyond the vampire books, like the mummy, the weird like mummy
Yeah.
books and the witches
Yeah.
books, and
Were they good?
did you have a Frankenstein book? I mean,
Great.
sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I didn't get into the goth until a little bit later.
yeah,
Same.
Yeah. It's okay.
glitter
Okay.
goth, glitter
Glitter
goth.
Goth, always a goth, I like to say.
Yeah,
Goth.
So yes, I'm very excited about Vampire because it's like a, you know, if D&D is the A tier, of course, or even the S tier. I mean, Vampire is it's shocking
there.
to me that it's been this long that I have not played Vampire, the Masquerade, or Call of Cthulhu.
I know.
Yeah, very
know.
weird that I have not done that yet.
We're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna
I'm
play
embarrassed.
Call of Cthulhu.
I know.
soon.
Well,
we're
I
gonna.
want Drew to DM a good game of Call of Cthulhu because
Hell
she's
yeah.
the Lovecraftian
Call of
Queen.
Cthulhu.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nightmare Fuel fan.
Tentacle.
Tentacle
yeah.
fan.
I don't know. She might have to fight Digital Twisted for that one.
That's true. DT is quite into the tentacle.
Up next, we will be playing Morkborg.
Mm.
That one I'm excited for because Matt
Yes.
has wanted us to play that since
For a
we
while.
were signing up for GaryCon
Yep.
Got it
2
right
years
there.
last year,
Yeah.
Yep.
year and a half ago.
Yeah,
And it's great. I finally got to play it with the dungeon dudes.
I was about to say, is that the one you play with the dungeon dudes? Go ahead.
Oh,
Pretty freaking
yeah.
cool. I was
Okay,
playing
brag.
with the dungeon dudes. Whatever.
Is it-
Excuse me, sir. You dropped a name. Let me just grab that for you.
Oh.
now we don't for these
but the
two
game
games.
itself
We
is
don't
awesome.
have to know
No.
how to play it in advance, right? They're going to teach us. Are they D6 systems? Are they D what?
Mork is pretty much D6.
Okay.
D6e. I don't know anything about Vampire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Great.
Mjork,
Use teeth.
Mjork is not because it unlike some of the Powered by Apocalypse games, which are not super combat-y. I would say that Mjork, in my opinion, is a little closer to Blades in the Dark kind of thing ish.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's the vibe that wins.
Vampire
So good.
is D10s and only D10s. says
Okay,
TTP.
thank you.
That's what I thought, and I'm excited by that. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I like a good D10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Matt and I recorded an episode of ADHD 20 this past week, and we are taking bets as to how many sets of dice the Pocket Dimension collectively will come home from GenCon with. So
Yes.
drop your
I already know I'm
drop
getting
your
one.
drop your bet in the comments collectively.
Yes.
All four of us together. How many sets of dice are we coming home with?
I have paid off a credit card just to refill it next week.
Dice.
With
We
dice.
knew we would make dice gremlins out of you. Okay, so after Morkborg,
71.
71, wow.
No,
we're not-
absolutely not.
Yeah. You
So
know,
everyone-
That is
Individual dice, not
Yes.
sets of dice.
Okay, sure. If it's individual.
25
Yeah.
sets says Big Bro. I love this. Keep this coming. When we're
Yeah.
not live anymore, drop it in the
Please.
comments as you
Uh-huh.
watch it back. I want to know.
Should we do
what
Prices
y'all-
Right rules?
Yeah.
And we'll give someone
Yeah.
we'll give someone something. I don't know what.
I'll
Yeah,
give you
we'll think of
this
something.
Bud T-shirt.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
send
if
you
you
a
get-
Bud and Herb T-shirt
you nail
if you win the Price is Right rule
love that,
version of how many
actually.
dice sets we.
How
bring
many
home.
dice sets are we collectively coming home with? All right. After that, we are very excited because if you are not new to this channel, you know that last year at Gen Con, we did not enjoy our Tales of the Valiant experience. And we put out a video that was opinionated, and
People got mad.
people didn't like that we were
Bit
opinionated.
us on the ass a little bit.
Yeah, but it also, you know what? It got views, so no bad press, right? So we are going
Well,
to get to play Tales of the Valiant. We're going to get to give it another shot, and with
Mhm.
our dear friend Kai Salas.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
GMing it.
This is
If Kai
awesome.
can't make
It's
us love it,
just
no one can.
That's
no
a
pressure.
true.
match made in heaven. So good.
We will have fun because we will all be together. So we're playing a higher level Tales of the Valiant. Fitz and I get to play some Daggerheart. Sorry, bros, couldn't get 4 tickets for that
I
one.
know.
It's okay.
It's tough.
That was a tough one. We had to fight for
we're
that.
Had to fight
For
pretty hard
those
for that one.
tickets.
Yeah.
And then I forget the one that y'all are playing on Sunday morning while Matt and I go play Rapscallion. Gonna go
Yeah.
raid the high
Oh,
seas. For
it was
the
like a
Craptid
zombie
adventure.
thing?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a zombie thing, but I think we're pivoting. I think we were going to go to a
see the Dungeon Dudes.
Dungeon Dudes thing instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
we want to play a little game, and then we want to like do a little industry
Do a little dance, play a little
Thing.
game.
Little
I don't know.
column A, little column
We'll
B.
chat tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
but don't forget faster purple worm.
That was up next, so then I put panels
sorry.
on the list.
Sorry.
I know that as of right now, we definitely have one with Jenny D. We have one with Luke Gygax that may be getting replaced with a Dungeon Dudes one. And then we've got Beetle and Grimm's faster purple worm, or as I wrote in the show notes, purple work. Kill. Live show. It's always good when I multitask. And
So much fun.
one big thing, if you're new to cons, so we went to a few cons together last year and learned some valuable lessons. And one of those is do not put too much on your schedule.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
will regret it.
Mm.
You will be cranky. So we made a big effort to only put a couple things on our schedule each day, and just to leave some room for magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I learned something in my year of cons last year too, that if you have any issues with your hearing, like if you are deaf or hard of hearing, gaming conventions, tabletop gaming conventions are brutally
It's really hard.
difficult because you've got enormous rooms that don't have the best sound, baffling,
None.
and tables just crammed together.
Mhm.
Everybody's excited. You can't tell someone to be quiet. You can't tell when people roll a nat 20 to shut up. You can't do that. So they're screaming everywhere all the time. So last year I kind of did a little debuting. This year I've got my game up. Kai, I'm really excited to test this with you because I will be a little shy for each GM to really put this to the test, but the idea is all four of us will have headphones and wireless microphones to be able to just hear the players and the GM on a more personal level. So I'm psyched about that accessibility thing.
I'm
I'm
also
excited for version. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm also excited for, like, I'm curious if it will help me focus a little bit more, because it's
Well,
the one of us
yes.
who's most easily distracted, who I hear a noise or see a shiny object and
Yeah.
my friends will not let me sit facing the door when we go to restaurants, you know?
Yes.
So, like, I'm very curious if that's going to help me.
Like
Mm.
zero in,
Stay
kind of
in
force
that moment.
blinders
Oh,
a
it
little
will.
bit.
It will for sure.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
so
excited
helpful
'cause-
for me last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The version
I-
1 was great.
Yeah.
So V2.
Yeah, it's going to be
So excited.
even better.
Yeah, and the GM seemed to. I mean, he didn't get to put them on, but he was really cool about it. He
Mhm.
seemed to appreciate that we needed it. You know, these old drummer ears. I can't. It's difficult in a hall like that if you have healthy ears to hear at all. But if you have any kind of diminished hearing whatsoever, you know, even in a loud restaurant, I can't hear what people are saying practically.
Yeah.
So I was very concerned.
Yeah.
Matt came to the rescue, and it works so well. It was so helpful.
It's going
Yeah.
to be you, Bear.
Well, and I want to, you know what? Let's talk for a second about how to make, for people who are going to cons, how to make it a little bit more accessible. Because I just saw that
Be
Galaxy
cool.
mentioned that she struggles a little bit with cons and like has to limit herself to 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
one of the things that I found as well for me when we were at GaryCon and then just used it again, GenCon was a little easier because there was more outside time. But like speaking sort of what you were saying, AK, about being distracted, for me, just the background, when the background decibel level is high, it makes my like anxiety high. And so I also can't do long periods of time of just like high excitement, going and checking out everything. When we go to the hall, exhibition hall, I can only take it for so long. The first time I went to New York Comic Con, I almost had a panic attack. I had to go sit in a corner and drink some lemonade because I was about to pass out.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm a New Yorker, man. I'll squish me into a subway and I'm fine. But there's something about the volume and the duration of time
Yeah, just the
at a
din,
con
the constant.
that it's just constant. And so like find what works for you to make the con accessible. I know for me, I just need like a quiet zone or to go touch grass between things, and I'm
Like
okay.
touch ass.
Touch ass,
Same
baby,
thing.
Always.
consensually.
Yeah, you can always consensually touch my ass.
Great.
And that was one thing that we did.
Thanks, AK, for that blanket consent.
Yep, blanket consent. I'm issuing it to
Although you can always rescind it. You can always rescind consent. But for now,
to be clear, for anybody watching, I am giving it to the 3 people on the screen with me right now only on video, and no one else. You have to ask every time if you're everybody else. One of the things that we did last year, to that point though, was Evan was so cute last year. He made us a little packed lunch every day, which cut down on expenses, so we would have more money to spend on dice. And B, we would go and sit outside and have a little picnic and just get out of it for a minute. And that was definitely something
sit in
that
the blazing heat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Indianapolis in August is super fun for that. But it's a back pocket permission. But
wow.
TTP. But yeah, I did. I learned. Because I get overstimulated and don't realize that I have until it's already too late and the crash has come and gone. Right. So having people like y'all in my life who are very proactive in helping me avoid the crash in the first place, such a ding delight. Yeah.
Just do what you got to do. And
one
of the best pieces of advice that we got at GenCon last year when we were playtesting Candela, I think.
Mm-hmm.
God, Darrington was so great with the way that they did the playtesting last year, and Ivan Van Norman was going around to all the tables when they were taking little breaks and just chatting with folks. And we asked him hey, this is our first time at Gen Con, what's your recommendation? And he said, well, for any con, my recommendation is choose one thing a day. One thing that's the magic maker that you have to go, you have to do it, and then the rest of the day is gravy. So if you accept that, then there's so much room in there for being able to be kind to yourself and your sensibilities. Yeah. And
release the FOMO.
Mm-hmm. Release the FOMO. Only go for 3 hours. Take lots of breaks. Make sure you're eating. Touch some grass.
And we have collectively, because we're all people who kind of value a little bit of separate space and privacy, we have tended to do Airbnbs. So then that way we start and end the day completely removed from it. Yeah. And that's a big pro for us, but the con of it is then we don't have anywhere to quickly retreat during the day without coming and going, which at bigger cons is a big pain in the butt. So figure out the things you can and can't live with. You might be the kind of person who needs the on-site hotel that you can walk to and take a nap more than you need the separation of space, that an Airbnb can offer. So just
you're going to spend some more coin, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
To bring this full circle, AK also was our local dispensary every night.
But
wow, thanks for selling me out there, huh?
I was so grateful. Because it made sure okay, I'm going to sleep well and we get recharged for the next day.
You got to sleep good. You got to eat good. You got to stay hydrated.
Yeah. So listen, bring your edibles and share them with your friends.
Yeah.
And everybody will be happy. And now everybody knows that I'm the...
Everybody. Hey, it's legal.
Yeah, that's right, man.
It's natural.
Natural.
It's legal.
It's natural.
It's natural. I mean, you're wearing a tie-dye shirt. I mean, come on.
With a turtle that talks on it. And her
jig
name
is up.
Herb.
Whoa, it's a talking turtle, man.
We'll see if my mommy is watching. Hi, Joanne. She has to know, right? I don't know.
Sure. She's
She's
super high right now.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that you were doing drugs. I was saying you were selling drugs.
Exactly.
I was not selling drugs. I was giving drugs away. Let us be clear about that.
I mean,
oh man.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
Okay.
so what we're saying is be kind to yourself when you go to a con.
Rewind.
That was a great full circle, though, Ev. I have to give it to you.
Yeah.
It always comes back to the bread and the herb.
Always comes back to the bud and the herb. Well,
Yeah.
we're already past time and we haven't played our game. I'm willing to let Cryptid or Craptid continue to be a Cryptid. It's just gonna be the game that we allegedly.
Allegedly, we have a game called Cryptid. or Craptid.
Allegedly, I'm ready and we could run it right now. But I kind of almost think it's funnier.
You want to hang on to it?
I don't know. What do y'all
Let's
think?
hang
What
on
do you
to it.
guys think? I
We
don't
can
know.
hang on to it.
Well,
It'll be the
sure.
cryptid of the show.
I think it should
Yeah.
become the
Running gag.
TPL Cryptid. I'm like, yeah, we're totally gonna play Cryptid or Craptid today.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen one? Have you seen a cryptid or a
Have you
craptid?
seen Cryptid or Craptid?
Oh.
I have, but nobody believes me.
You know,
Yeah.
we always sorry, Matt, what were you gonna say?
No, I had a question that was a slightly unrelated. Well, very unrelated. So please continue.
Okay. Well then I will present this and we will go to your question. And I will say as our wrap up, we always for our games we like to do stars and wishes, but let's do a cryptid version of that. And as we wrap up today, I want to know everybody's favorite cryptid.
Oh.
So think about it.
Okay. Bold.
Matt, ask your question.
Okay, yes. Everybody start thinking about that. Allison, since you have the schedule right in front of you, what are we doing next Friday? 12:30. I'm sorry. 12:30 Eastern Time, 11:30 Central Time.
Well,
What are
Matthew,
we
I'm so
actually doing?
glad that you asked. Friday at 1 p.m. is when we will be playing Morkborg.
We'll be playing Morkborg at 1 p.m.
At 1
Well,
p.m.
I just thought, I'm gonna have this entire mic system. Perhaps we could just do a quick check-in
We'll
with
check in,
everybody.
like-
Oh yeah.
And go.
And let y'all hear the din of unintelligible noise behind
Right.
us, too.
Yes,
Yeah.
you'll see. No, but I mean, live on the scene, that could be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll play it by ear. I was
Breaking.
just curious.
More
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Mhm.
I am down to
Maybe,
clown.
maybe they'll just let us stream the whole game.
Yes.
We won't know. We won't know until
We
we, ask
won't
the
know.
GM.
No one will
Probably
know.
not. I would guess
Probably
not.
I'm
not.
But maybe.
guessing not. I'm guessing
Probably.
not.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
But we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
We can be your street team at GenCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
do the
Yes,
annoying
Glenn.
thing where we talk to people.
Glenn needs us to go and tell Jenny D that he loved the one
happily
where she
will.
played with her parents.
Oh.
We will
So,
happily
anything
speak
else?
to
Mm.
Jenny D.
Y'all, we may see Alan, the dungeon coach. We may not.
mhm.
He's got
He's
some
a little
very
busy,
big,
but we're gonna
exciting
try.
things happening. So
Yeah.
I would like to meet Jenny D. She seems
I would
very
very
shy
much like-
in real
yeah.
life. She seems a little shy.
Yeah,
but
she does.
We saw her at her panel last year, but not face to face. We did meet D&T Shorts last year, and he was very
Gem.
personable.
Oh,
yeah, he was
Gem.
just
Adorable.
a lovely fellow.
I still think he was. Still think he was given the winky eye to Fitz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still thought that there was a little eye.
Thanks
action.
for putting that out on the internet, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? I'm the
problem.
weed dealer? D&D Shorts loves you? Come on.
That's my point. Is who
Exactly. Exactly. Own that.
Matt and I are more callous to these things because of our rock band days. We're just
That's
like,
true.
yeah, whatever,
wouldn't?
man.
Yeah, and our
Whatever.
age.
Oh yeah. Also that.
Whoops.
Well,
yeah.
Come flirt with us at GenCon.
Yeah.
Come flirt
Yes.
with any of us. And
Yes.
ask me if you can touch my butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask first.
Ask first.
Right.
That's
right.
first.
You can flirt for free, but you must ask about the butt touching.
Yes.
There you
I,
go.
I
There you
like
go.
these banter. This feels healthy, you guys.
It
Feels
does.
good.
Yeah.
Super healthy.
I just want to point out real quick I'm going to pivot us to the cryptid question because
Please.
Tabletop Phoenix had an incredible little
Yeah.
pun situation.
Let me go get that.
Okay.
Bigfoot is sometimes confused with Sasquatch, and he never
Yeti.
complains.
Oh wow. That's good.
That's
That's good.
That's incredible.
That's good.
Dang,
Uh,
All right. Okay. So we will save the Cryptid or Craptid game. So hold
Uh-huh.
on to that. And
It's the official
go.
cryptid
Who-
of the Pocket
who's-
Dimension.
Yeah. What's your favorite cryptids?
You go first, brother.
No, I think Fitz should go first.
Okay,
You-
I'm
you're
with
definitely a
DT.
historian.
Unequivocally, I like the Mothman.
Okay.
Very
why?
fair.
But why?
Well,
and for those who don't know what a Mothman is,
Yes.
what is it?
So Mothman, first of all,
I know
is
now.
what?
I know now.
You
Yeah.
know now? Mothman is the great protector of cryptids, all right? It used to be spotted in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and it did try to warn people of the bridge. They didn't listen. Now, Mothman can be spotted around O'Hare in Chicago. So I actually never feel... I'm a nervous flyer, but flying into Chicago doesn't bother me as much because Mothman is
As
there
watching.
to make sure the
There to-
planes land safely.
Yep.
So
Okay.
thank you, Mothman. You are my favorite. You are a handsome fella, with glowing red eyes and a beautiful wingspan.
Yeah. Amen.
Okay.
Love that.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
That's wonderful.
I almost got to go to the Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant on a trip this year, but it closed right as we were there. But it will happen. It will happen. I'll just go ahead and go. I also love the Mothman, but I love I love in Appalachia, near, not too far from where our mom is and our pal Nathan is, there is a cryptid called Spider Baby. And it is this basically like a baby with big like legs.
A drider.
Yeah, like a
Basically
drider. Like a baby doll
Basically a
drider.
Yep.
And it like lives high in trees.
Oh,
And it doesn't it doesn't get nearly as much attention as the others, but Spider Baby is amazing because it's terrifying. You people say that they're walking through forests or even just like downtown woodsy areas, and they'll hear this like weird goat-like baby crying sound, and they'll look up and they'll see a baby with spider. So Spider Baby's mine.
Spider Baby.
Okay.
So listen, I can't say Mothman now because too many people have said Mothman.
Spider.
And
Okay.
I can't.
Look, Mothman's great.
Mothman is great, and I am not disputing how great Mothman is. And I think if other people hadn't said it first, I might have. But because I'm one of those, like, when I see other, like, we can't all order the same thing at the table, right?
Fair.
So like,
Okay, sure,
you
sure,
know,
sure.
like, so if I was between two things and then you ordered it, I'm gonna get the other thing. So then I'm just gonna go kind of adjacent to how I found Mothman, and I'm gonna say Kentucky Goblins.
Yeah.
okay.
I feel
They're
like the
creepy.
Kentucky-
They're adjacent.
I feel
yeah.
like
creepy.
the Kentucky Gerblins are my favorite cryptid. I'm
They
gonna
have
go ahead
chaos
and-
in their hearts.
They
That
do,
is-
they
that
do,
is
and
true.
they inhabit the Mammoth Cave system, and I think it's cool, and I want to go visit.
So we've got 3 Appalachian cryptids on our
Of
list.
course we do.
I mean, I think
Okay.
those are the best, and
They're
the
the
most, certainly some of the most common, right? I think the Appalachia. God, I can't wait to play.
I know,
Old
we got to
Gods
play
of
Old Gods.
Appalachia.
We've been
Oh my
talking about
God.
it for a year.
I know. We bought it at GenCon last year.
Gen Con
know.
last year.
did.
A
It's
year
happening.
ago. It's
We
gonna
got to
happen.
do it.
We're
We
gonna
got to
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah,
Do
it
it.
just the Appalachian Trail just it calls for cryptids.
Yeah.
It does.
It does. It's the
Brother?
creates the cryptids. Oh man, I'm with tabletop. I just like saying the name Chupacabra. It just sounds
Yeah.
so like Chupacabra, chimichanga. Just feels good in
So
your
good.
mouth.
Yeah.
Chupacabra feels good in your
I
mouth.
don't. Right? Chupacabra, chimichanga.
Yeah.
Chewy.
That's but it, like lore wise, I don't know that it's my favorite. I mean, I love a classic
Wendigo is
Sasquatch.
great.
You know,
Mhm.
good old Bigfoot. I want to believe that the foot is real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the new, I will say, honorable mention. Oh, sure, Galaxy, the Wendigo. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you've ever read, was it Pet Cemetery?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. One that I just became aware of is the Fresno. What's it called? The Fresno
Oh,
Nightcrawler.
Night Stalker.
the Fresno Nightcrawler. Okay,
Nightcrawler.
we got to show off the
But I
Nightcrawler.
show. I am a little sad. I didn't want to say that one in case Well,
I don't know that
Fitz
much
had gone
about
before
it, but I
It's
just
so good.
it's so bizarre.
I know, it's so bizarre.
It's got such a cool name.
Seth
Yeah.
and Colby went to Heroes Con, and they brought me back this little Nightcrawler,
no.
Fresno Nightcrawler. He's just pants. He's ghost
Just
pants.
pants. Just pants.
That's
You
the
know,
cryptid.
we
They're
spend
adorable.
a lot of time talking about wearing no pants, and that's because the
Yeah.
Fresno Nightcrawler is.
These are my pants. I named him Seth, and I was
Aw.
wondering. I got my grandfather's roll top desk finished, and there's like a weird little shelf in there. I didn't know what to do with, and he fits perfect.
Oh no!
It's almost like everything is
no.
always working out.
So
Yeah.
good. So good.
I know. Well, I'd like it to work out so that we get to meet all these cryptids in person one day without dying.
Look, Drew and I've been talking about going to a Cryptid Con, so maybe the pocket dimension branches out and we go to a Cryptid
Yeah,
Con.
man. Oh
yes.
gosh. Yeah. They'll have Bud and Herb as the guest of honor.
Hell yeah. Or the Cinderwood Walker. Also, though, I'm going to give honorable mention. DT and I are aligned on our cryptid fascination. Honorable mention to Man Bear Pig, of course.
Yeah.
Man, bear, pig.
Man Bear Pig.
Member pig.
I
Wow, you
just
guys
wanna
know
s-
cryptids that I've never heard of.
I just want to say that if and when we ever get to play Cryptid or Craptid, y'all are probably going to do well.
Oh, okay. Not me. I'm like super pedestrian
Yeah,
when it comes
basic.
to. Yeah, I'm super basic.
Well, now you know a couple. You'll never get
Okay.
the Fresno Night Stalker
Jersey
wrong.
Devil.
Jersey
Is that-
Devil?
That's an old classic.
That's great.
Yeah.
Everyone
The-
likes it. I like that. That's a good
dogs.
X-Files episode.
The Hanks. Yeah.
What?
That's right,
X-Files is
DT.
good.
Speak to Evan. You gotta email Al Gore. He'll give you a presentation.
I
He'll
will.
send you a PowerPoint on Man Bear Pig.
Al Gore at I invented the internet.
I
Dot
invented
com.
the internet.com.
Actually, it would be .net probably.
Oh,
Right.
being.
There you go.
Oh, no.
Well, this
Wow.
was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was really fun.
This was fun, you guys.
The
Thank you.
Adventures of Bud and Herb out Monday, July 29th.
Yeah. That's right.
Wherever you see and watch podcasts.
That's
Mhm.
right. Yeah.
I'm so
Gonna be
excited.
fun.
Yeah,
Yes,
guys, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
We will miss y'all next week if we don't go live. Maybe we'll go live. I'm looking forward to getting my paws on those of you I do get to see next week.
Yes.
Consensually, of course.
Yes, consensual pause.
I'm gonna hug the heck out of y'all. It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And-
till then, we're gonna have the best pocket dimension week ever.
Yes.